guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this week's video because it's different than what I normally post, so I'm really hoping that you guys are gonna like this one. I decided instead of doing like a vlog or like day in my life type video, I wanted to actually do like a how-to video. The thing I'm going to be showing you guys how to make today is custom air dry clay magnets, as well as really like anything you want to make with air dry clay. With the air dry clay, you guys can pretty much make like anything you want. I also made in this video like a little seashell clay dish. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I really hope that it sparks some kind of like inspiration for your own room decor, stuff for an apartment, or even you can make these things as gifts for your friends and family. And let's get started.
So here are the materials you're going to use to make these super cute and easy air dry clay magnets. I'm using the Crayola air dry clay, and I picked up these two different tools from the dollar store. I'm using this little rounded tool as well as an X-Acto knife to help me shape and cut out my different shapes. I'm also using this paint scraper tool as well as a paintbrush, a paper plate and paper towel for the painting process, and we're going to need lots of water for painting as well as sculpting the clay. So here are some examples of different pieces that I've already made. I have this little playing card and a cowgirl boot. But today we're going to work with an easier shape, so I'm going to make a heart. What I like to do is grab any desired amount of clay. I'm choosing a smaller amount since I want it to be a smaller heart. And I like to mold it in my hands, flatten it out, and then I go in with my X-Acto knife and I carve out the shape of the heart. Once you get your desired shape, I like to pull away any excess clay, and I'm going to save that for later because you can reuse it. And then I like to scrape it from the surface just to make sure that it doesn't stick. And then I go in with that dirty paintbrush and water to help smooth over any cracks, crevices, or fingerprints that I might have left on the clay. So here are some examples of shapes that I've made where it's flat on the surface. I like it how it is, but for today's shape, I wanted to show you guys how to connect two different little pieces of clay together, like this heart on top of the playing card, as well as this little heart that I put on top of this envelope. So in order to do that, you're gonna have to carve out another little shape. So I'm gonna make a mini heart on top of the heart that we just made. So I'm going in with another piece of clay. I'm sculpting out a even tinier heart with my X-Acto knife. And then I'm smoothing it out with my paintbrush, the whole same process over again. But to get it to stick to the bigger heart, what we're going to have to do is score it. So I'm taking that X-Acto knife and I'm basically ripping it apart. I'm tearing it up. And what that's doing is it's creating like an airway. So then when you attach two pieces together, it allows the water and the clay to act as a glue as it seals and it dries. And then here I'm using that little rounded tool that I showed you guys in the beginning. I'm pretty sure this is for crocheting or knitting or something like that, but it works perfectly for rounding out the corners of my clay pieces and getting it to be perfect and how I like it. And once I'm all done, the piece is finished, I like to scrape it from the bottom so it doesn't stick to the surface, and then I place it on a paper plate to dry so I could paint it the next day. And then here's an example of another air dry clay piece that I'm working on. You guys can use air dry clay to work on anything, not just magnets. So here's a little sand dollar dish that I'm making my mom for her birthday. She can use it as a jewelry dish or even a coaster if she likes, but the options are endless and you guys can use it for anything. So it is the next day, and here is my little heart. It is completely dry. I like to have it dry for at least a day, and if it's a bigger piece, possibly 2 days. So it is a bit of a lengthy process, but right now is the fun part. It's the painting. For my paint materials, I like to use acrylic paints. For this little fish shape, I wanted it to look like a goldfish, so I went in with this bright orange acrylic paint. Make sure you do the back as well. And then I also had this little donut shape, and I wanted it to look like a strawberry frosted donut. Once your paint is all done drying, you're going to want to attach the magnets now. So to attach them, I'm using a hot glue gun. I just picked mine up from Michael's, and you're going to need any sized magnet. So because I made smaller magnets, I'm using these tiny little ones. And then you're going to want to seal your magnets to protect them. Do not use Mod Podge. I use Mod Podge in this video, and I completely disregarded the fact that Mod Podge is water-based. If you guys remember from the beginning, I said that water is what makes clay moldable and soft again. So it was my mistake for not really reading what Mod Podge was made out of, but you guys can find different kinds of sealants that aren't water-based. After you seal them with a paintbrush and let that dry, you're just going to attach the magnets with your hot glue, and then you can start using them. They look super adorable and I love putting them on my fridge. I can't wait to put them up in my apartment next semester, and I am so happy with the way they turned out.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I know it was a little bit different than what I normally post, but I just thought it was so much fun, and it's been something I've really been loving to do this summer, which is just like crafting and making things. I also know that I am not the best. This is my first time ever working with air dry clay or clay in general. I definitely did not have the correct tools or equipment or anything, and I also know everything that I got was very cheap, or like very, like, you couldn't find the majority of these things at the dollar store, but I figured I wanted to start with like the basic stuff first before I invest in like really expensive stuff, in case I just like wasn't into it, or I just found out like I didn't like making the stuff. But now that I do, once I'm finished with all my tools and all my clay, I'm probably going to invest in something a little bit more nicer so I can make stuff that looks a lot better. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I said in the beginning, if you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!